Hello, everyone. Today we are going to review some whiskey from the most interesting distillery in Scotland. And no, it is not Ardnahoe. It is not. It's not Ardnamurchan. It's Loch Lomond. And I will explain why. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you about what we got here. I have got a box set from the Open, because of course Loch Lomond sponsors the Open. I'm not really a golf person. In fact, I have moral objections to golf, but it's a nice tasting set, so I bought it. I've got this tasting set, and then I've got this bottle of Inchmoan to join this other bottle of Inchmoan, and then I have got a barrel pick of Loch Lomond Glengarry something. Whatever. So, let's get these poured. Why is Loch Lomond so darn interesting? Because they have got, almost rum style, an absolutely tremendous collection of different kinds of stills. You have got traditional, kind of swan neck style pot stills, but then you've got Lomond stills, which they're now calling straight neck stills. It's basically like an old, like 1960s version of what we would now call a hybrid still. So it's a pot still where the neck is basically a big old column where you can put in and remove plates to kind of change the profile. And that's even before we get into their continuous stills, their column stills, which is also a thing. But for their malts, you're going to see the Lomond stills and the traditional stills. And they can mix and match all of these. So, for example, this Inchmurrin right here is all from the Lomond stills, but it's the Lomond stills with the plates in, so it's at the highest rectification. It comes off at around 85% alcohol by volume, but they can also take the plates out, in which case it comes at a grunge-tastic 55%, which I think is Craig Lodge? I don't even remember. There is an absolutely tremendous variety of Loch Lomond distillates out there. And do you want peated or unpeated? Do you want traditional still or the Lomond stills? And with the Lomond stills, do you want it with the plates in, with the plates out? You can, and then you can blend them. So that is why Loch Lomond is the most interesting, for me, distillery in Scotland, even though they are not particularly celebrated. In fact, they're usually, towards the bottom of everyone's list. But they're starting to get serious. So what do we got here? We have got an Inchmurrin. What is this? Oh, there's no H on this. I'm sorry. There's an Inchmurrin with a Madeira wood finish. And again, this is all... I'm going to mess this up. This is all from the Lomond stills with the plates in, so high rectification, should be very light and fruity. You have got Loch Lomond 12, which I reviewed before, but I'm happy to review it again. Loch Lomond 12 is a blend of all three of your basic options. So there's some unpeated traditional pot still. There's some unpeated high proof Lomond still. There's some unpeated low Lomond still, low distillation strength Lomond still, and there's a little bit of peat in there too. That's the Loch Lomond distillate, which I guess is the same as this Glengarry. I have no idea what the deal is with this Glengarry. We'll get to that. We got Inchmoan, which is a blend of the traditional, which is peated. Let's start with that. Traditional pot distillate blended with, I think low rectification strength, peated Lomond distillate. I'm messing all this up, but I'm not going to redo it because I'm in a hurry. I'm also waiting for a UPS truck, so I have to run downstairs. That's about Inchmoan again. This is the old 10-year-old, and this is the relatively new 12-year-old, which I'm very excited about. And then you got this cask pick. It's cask number 21-6182, 138 bottles. I got this from, who did I get this from? Liquor Lineup. I'm sorry, Liquor Lineup. But I think they split this cask, and you would have no idea what was special about it unless you really, really read the small print, where it says First Fill Sauternes Hogshead. I don't know if that's finished or if it's full maturation, but we should be for a fun, fruity time. Here we go. Let's work through these. Starting off with the Inchmurrin Madeira finish. Well, I mean, you expect it to be relatively light and fruity, and it is, indeed, relatively light and fruity. All of these four at least, are bottled at 46%, with, I think these are non-chill filtered, I think. It says so somewhere. Non-chill filtered, yeah. This, of course, is a cask strength. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of kind of baked apples. There's a little bit of quince in here too. Light florals. I want to say grassiness, but it's not really grass. It's like half-dried hay. Some graham crackers, crushed graham crackers. Some other graininess going on too. It's weird. Like cornflakes almost, but like half fermenting cornflakes. So imagine you like left your cornflakes out, and they got a little bit wet, and it was a hot day, and it was a couple of hours, and they started to go. There's a little bit of that. Certainly a drizzle of clover honey on there. And then we're starting to get a little bit into the Madeira. There's a little bit of a nuttiness aspect. What kind of nuttiness? Like a little, some almondy stuff maybe. Let's say almond butter, sure. Dried fruit, hard to nail down though. I'm going to go like dried apricot, a little bit of dried fig, but kind of intersecting with the appley notes and the quince. It smells nice. Loch Lomond is kind of in the southwest Highlands, and it kind of smells like a kind of southern Highlander, like a Midlander. Here we go on the palate. Sorry, there's some orange in those too. Just a little bit of like a toasted orange peel thing. Oh, actually quite pleasant on the palate. You know what? This is pretty legit. I remember having a Loch Lomond tasting set, not a huge long while ago, but I like the 18. The 18 was solid, but the basic one, whatever the basic one, and the 12 didn't sort of do it for me. This feels like better than those basic two bottlings. I kind of like this. Yeah, very Midland. It's not as bonkers as you get in like a Deanston. We're not as orange driven as that. It's definitely not as crazy as you get with like an Edredauer or something. It's a little bit more cleaned up. A lot of graham crackers, some cinnamon toast crunch, chocolate orange, but also a little bit of like a toasted orange peel thing. There's some ashiness to this, which I'm really like burned compost or something. That's like a really oily texture to it. That kind of mashed apple quince thing is happening. Tobacco, Oriental tobacco. Touches of dried fruit. Take a some figs, maybe like one prune, one dried apricot, and kind of smother them in almond butter. Maybe like a touch of macadamia as well. That drizzle of honey again. I wouldn't call this clean. It's not. It's just very. It has that light on its feet directness, which I tend to associate with Midlands whiskies like Deanston. It's not. This is not as good as Deanston 12, for example, but I'm kind of enjoying this. There's a little hint of vanilla on there. I wasn't really getting that on the nose. No, not so much. Not on the nose, but on the palate it's there. Some marmalade. What is this? Some other kind of pear thing. Not pear. Fruit thing. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, a little bit of dragon fruit, actually. A little bit. My daughter loves dragon fruit for some reason. It's like the first time I bought it, and you've got the crazy thing with the white stuff inside with the little black things. I thought, there's no way she's actually going to eat this. But I chopped it up for her, and I served it, and lo and behold, she killed like 2/3 of the thing by herself. I was delighted. So dragon fruit is in the rotation now. There's a little bit of dragon fruit in here. Kind of ashy on the finish, but refreshing ashy. There's a little bit of like more like almost a tea leaf thing as well. What tea leaf? Like, slightly stale Assam, but not bad. Like still good. It's just like you left it in the cabinet a little bit too long. Malty tea. Nice. I like this Inchmurrin. I quite like it. Let's give it some water. Let's see what it does. Yeah, no, I mean, if you are kind of bored with Deanston and Glengarry, and I mean, you're never going to get bored of Edradour, really, are you? But if you're a little fatigued by Edradour, but you want that style, this is kind of worth a grab. I like this. All right, let's move on to yes, the old classic, Loch Lomond 12-year-old at 46% alcohol by volume. And again, I don't know. I've bought this a few times. I've tried this a few times. I bought it twice, and I always feel like I should like it more than I do. It's a little bit too woody for me. Like I always feel like if I caught it on the right day, it would come around. But I'm never quite there with it. So, but I'm happy to see how this batch does. This, I don't know when this set came out. It doesn't have a date on it, but it would have been relatively recent, right? So I'd say about 2, 3, 4 years ago, tops. Okay. So there is definitely like a woodsy thing to this. I'm definitely getting some Lipton's tea, some vanilla, some barrel char, some dried cherry. But, there's more to it than that. There is actually a little bit of peat coming through. In some ways, in terms of profile, this is reminding me less of the previous. I mean, I have it fresh in my mind at all, but a little bit less of the previous Loch Lomond 12 and more of like a younger version of the 18. because there's a little wisp of peat coming through. It's slightly stinky peat. It's slightly barnyardy peat. So more, well, Ardmore. We just did some Ardmores. More Ardmore than, say, Kalila or something. Not a ton of fruit on this. There's some pear. There is a little bit of like a wildflower honey thing. Cinnamon sticks. Allspice. Some coffee cake. Some kind of heavier bread. The German bread and those bricks you buy at the your local produce market. Those things. There's some minerality to this as well. There's some wet geodes. Let's go with that. You took your geode and you got it wet. Fun. I mean, it's not. I mean, the reason I bought the Inchmoan here, the 12, was because I was going to throw this in like some kind of Springbank substitute tasting. Because I wanted something that would have like a little whisper of peat in there, but otherwise be a kind of conventional malt. This is kind of pulling that off a little bit better. There's a little bit of like a leafiness thing. There's Lipton's tea, but there's also like just kind of like a autumn bonfire that hasn't been lit, like a bonfire pile that hasn't been lit yet. There's a nuttiness, but it's not actual nuts. It's more like crushed nut shells. I like this. This is the second one in a row I've kind of been into on the palate. So for a while now, I have been thinking Loch Lomond as a distillery could get very, very, very serious quickly. If they could get their act together in terms of their wood treatment. If their whiskeys just weren't either just kind of in tired dead cask that were doing nothing, or they weren't just shoving a 2x4 into my mouth. If they just found that middle way, they could get very serious. With this bottling of the 12, what batch is this? It's not saying. Damn it, I want to know what batch this is. With this bottling, they have nailed it. This is righteous. We're not hitting the high 80s with this. But damn. I mean, this. Let's start with this. A lot of the same stuff that was on the nose. Lipton's tea, vanilla, a little bit of dried cherry, a little bit of like a dried apple thing, a cider apple thing as well. A little pear, some graininess. Let's go Cheerios. No. Wheaties. No. Well, yes, Wheaties, but also, what are the damn it! It's the other oat cereal. What is it? Let's go. Just go Cheerios. Sure, let's go Cheerios. Honey, wildflower honey. This is getting me excited. I'm sorry. Leaves, twigs, fall stuff. A little bit of a fresh Virginia tobacco. And then you've got that little whisper of mainland peat. So fudgy peat, barnyard peat, vanilla fudge kinds of peat. Ardmore peat, if you like. I mean, it's not a peat bomb by any means. You know what this is, though? This is the end of Johnny Walker Black Label's justification for existing. That's it. Like, Johnny Walker Black Label now no longer has any reason to exist. Because this is hitting the appley malty stuff, the grainy stuff you want, and that little whisper of peat in there, and there's no grain whiskey to get in the way. This is not significantly more expensive, and it's bottled. It's better presented. This is great. I mean, it's not great, but it's very good. It does have a little bit of that like musty Assam tea thing at the end that the Inchmurrin has had as well. But Jesus, this is really like, if you want one bottle of malt whiskey that's not particularly expensive, that just kind of represents Scotland in a bottle, this is not a bad choice. Honestly, there's a little. It's not. There's a little bit of a floral thing, but it's more like the flowers haven't bloomed completely. They're starting to come out, so it's almost more grassy than floral. Oh, this is fun. This is where I was hoping they would get to with this bottling. It really is. It really does taste a lot like just a younger version of where the 12-year-old always was. I'm completely sold. This is I'm delighted. We're not even halfway through the tasting, and I already feel like I've won the jackpot or something. All right, moving on. Inchmoan, 10-year-old. Once again, this is a blend, not a heavily peated blend, but a peated blend of the traditional pot distillate and the Lomond pot distillate. Whoa. Funky town. Much, as weird as it sounds, much fruitier than the Loch Lomond. Quite a lot of fruit. It smells like peated mashed pears, honestly. Yeah, there's and it's stinky peat too. There's a little bit of a twiggy character to this peat. Twiggy stuff. A little bit of a heatheriness. But then there's just some, stinky cow poo not too far away. Some mud. In the best possible sense. Definitely some orange. Wow. Yeah, orange peel. Mirabelle plum. But peaty. You know what this smells like, actually? This reminds me of a more sane and measured version of Balakin. That's not quite as peaty as well, but we're gesturing in that direction without quite going into all the worm tubby, completely out of control grunginess that Balakin brings. We're at the threshold of that, but we aren't going quite in there yet. Really fun, like heathery, slightly floral again, wildflowers. I will say, in terms of the notes, this one's throwing me the least things to kind of name out to you. But what it is hitting, that kind of perry, appley, orangey fruitiness combined with the kind of twiggy, barnyardy peat. It's all hitting those things very vividly on the palate. I like it. It does feel a little bit more raw and maybe a little bit less convincing than the previous two. a lot of this is down to like mouth presence, and particularly the mouth length. It's very fun. I'm enjoying the explosion of like half-rotten orange and stinky barnyard mud in my mouth, along with some maritime peat. Actually, it's peaty. There's some seashells and stuff in there, but it's all at the front of my mouth. There's really nothing hitting my tonsils, hitting the lungs. This is 10 years old, going on 8 or so, 7 or 8. More peat on the palate than there is on the nose. It's not unpleasant. I mean, we're bringing some maritime elements that were not there on the nose. But I'm losing a lot of the pear elements. I'm losing a lot of the grainy elements. We're keeping the orange and the Mirabelle. But I don't know, this loses a little bit of dimension in there. It's really just orange, Mirabelle, and like stinky barnyard muddy peat stuff. That's not bad. Oh, there's some black pepper too. I just want there to be more to this. That said, we got a 12-year-old coming up immediately after this, so maybe that problem will be solved. I'm going to give this a squirt of water. But even if this might be my least favorite of these first 3, I am by no means mad at this point. I'm kind of on board with Loch Lomond right now, with whatever the hell they're doing over there in that mad laboratory of theirs. All right. Loch Lomond Inchmoan, 12-year-old. This is a pretty recent bottling. No idea how. Oh, wait. February 2025, I believe, is what that lot number says. So quite recent. Let's see what we got. Okay. I should name the oaks because they tell you what it is. 3 types of American oak casks: bourbon, refill, and recharred. Of course they have a dechar rechar operation there. They're Loch Lomond. They have everything. Interesting. Also very heavy on the orange. But it's a very different kind of orange. We're bringing a lot more wood into this. There's more vanilla. There's more English breakfast tea with some milk and a little bit of honey. And let's throw in a couple of lumps as well, lumps of sugar. Less overtly peaty, actually. The peat's in there, but it's quite subtle. Yeah, like chocolate orange. There's some pear and some apple compote kind of creeping out. Oh, and some graininess too. There's some like porridge elements. Almost leesy. You know what? Something about this reminds me of shochu. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of some of the nuttier shochus out there, but it's not nuts. This is kind of leesiness. Fun. Again, it does not present overtly peaty. It's in there if you go looking for it, but peat is not the first thing smacking in the face. And some Mirabelle plum. Virginia tobacco again. Just pleasant. I mean, it's a nice... Again, presents kind of like a nice Midlander on the palate. Oh. I mean, yeah. There's some people who should be paying attention to this. Like, if you are a Benromach fan, or even, a Pringbank Say fan, that distillery, come on in. Even a Highland Parkers might find something to like to this. I think this is not going to be crazy enough for Balakin fans, but everyone else kind of in that territory, like, come on over. I don't think there's any sherry in this, but aspects of this present sherry. There's a distinctive mix of tobaccos going on here. So there's some Virginias, there's some Black Cavendish. That orange note is very sherry, but it's not quite sherry. It's from the distillate. Orange peel, Mirabelle plum. Vanilla. Porridge again. That fun Lizzie note. Whatever that shochu kind of thing is quite fun. And you got, again, more peat on the palate than there is on the nose. And again, it's kind of Ardmore-y peat. It's twiggy, it's barnyardy. We're not anywhere near in the same level of Stinky Town as the Inchmoan 10. This one feels more integrated. Black pepper, the dragon fruit thing again. Oh, this is fun. Really, really good mouth presence, though. I mean, really nice texture, some mix of oiliness and pepper, kind of hitting my lungs a little bit, which is nice. I mean, is this bottle, is this going to knock out a Springer or a Benromach at their best? I don't know. I don't think so. But the fact that I can talk about a frickin' Loch Lomond in the same sentence and not have it, be embarrassing itself is really, really impressive to me. This is worth a look. Nice. Let's give that a squirt of water, and we'll move on to the Sauternes cask. So this is something I threw onto an order, and I shall be reviewing the rest of that order in a few days, hopefully. Anyways, this was half off. Should have been a hundo. It was 50, and it is a 10-year-old Loch Lomond called the Glengarry, picked by Liquor Lineup. 138 bottles of this, and again, the headline, but not even the headline, they buried the headline, is First Fill Sauternes Hogshead. We love Sauternes. It's you should be drinking more Sauternes if you're watching this. If you are going out to eat dim sum or Cantonese food or whatever, and you are not popping a bottle of like sweet fungus wine, what is wrong with you? Get with the program. You can buy a bottle of Premier Cru Bordeaux for under $30 all day long. That's Sauternes, baby. On the nose. Actually very reserved on the nose. It's not talking very much. I am getting some like mashed raisins. A little squirt of lemon on top. No, not a squirt, like a lemon zest. You zested some lemon on top of some mashed raisins. Certainly grainy. There's some oatmeal elements, some porridge elements. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Okay, some apple coming out now. But overall, kind of the most vague of the bunch so far on the nose. On the palate. keeping it real, I don't think this is my favorite thing here. It is definitely someone's favorite thing, though. I mean, this is... If you're one of those folks who really, really digs whiskeys or bourbons or whatever that have been finished in dessert wine cask, I mean, you're going to enjoy this. Super duper grainy. Really grainy. So, first of all, no peat. Sorry. It's like you mixed together some oatmeal and some cream of wheat because you ran out of one or the other, and you needed to kind of like, make something for breakfast. And you like crushed up some, I don't know, some wassa crackers in there as well to kind of give it some more heft. All that graininess, and you're going to chop up on top some slightly overripe dessert apple, also some green apple in there, and then put an absolute ton of black pepper on top, a little bit of tobacco-y elements, some burley, but also some black Cavendish. Drizzle of honey. Then you got your lemon zest, and you got your mashed raisins. Just take some raisins in your hand, just mash them up all on top of your, porridgey fruit mixture. And that's kind of what this tastes like. It is not subtle. It arrives like just a big old brick of peppery power in the middle of your mouth. And a lot of the fun stuff that I like about this, particularly the sense of lemon, it doesn't really stick around that long in the finish. A lot of what's sticking around is the pepper, the tannins, the structure-y stuff. I mean, it's very yummy, though. And really something that I could see bourbon fans getting into this. Like bourbon fans who really, really dig some of the, bourbons finished in like peanut Incharans, that kind of thing. They would dig this a lot. And it's certainly good. So I'll give this a couple squirts of water. How strong is this? 58.4. So we'll try 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 squirts. That's come around a little bit already. Give that a second to kind of chill out, and we will move through the rest of this flight. All right, back to the Inchmurrin, which really kicked things off well. I was not expecting to like this one so much. And now, on the nose, now that I've had some water, it feels like I'm just nosing a Madeira. We're not talking like a grand old Madeira. This is a fresher Madeira that's just been made really well. It's got that kind of juicy, nutty, winey character to it. Oh, I like it. There's some... Oh, what is that? Some kind of red fruit coming out, but it's not porty red fruit. Like this is like almost berries. But you're still getting, the florals, that kind of fresh hay thing. The grainy element of this. The orange, the fruit. Yeah, it smells like, I don't know. You took a glass full of a good Glengoyne, a glass full of a good Deanston. You kind of vatted them together, and you did a little topper of Madeira straight in there for fun. Yeah, this is lovely on the palate. I mean, it's certainly lighter than anything else on this table. Like the first thought I had when I tried this again was, is this thinner than I remember? Did it lose something? No, let me just try it one more time. It isn't, but it's not thinner than I remember. It's just has a lighter character. But man, does it deliver that light character very well. Oh, it's juicy, it's nutty, grassy floral, but also slightly ashy and tobacco-ridden. I mean, it is a very good example of a Midlander, is how this presents. Lighter in character, but it has an edge to it, is the thing. It really does. This is legit. What would I give this? Can I give it a plus from where it was before? I don't think I can plus it. Screw it. 85 points. 85 points. Right smack in the middle of gosh darn good. And that is that. I mean, I often talk about how 85 pointers are, for me, the textbook way you begin a flight. And this is just a textbook way among textbook ways you begin a flight. Get yourself a bottle of this, and it's not only to kind of get people going in your next tasting, your next get-together, and it will not only taste good in itself, it will make everything else on the table taste better as a result. Inchmurrin Madeira wood finish, 85 points. Really impressive. The Loch Lomond 12, which I previously, I don't remember if I scored this. Must have been the low 80s, like 81, 82, somewhere. It was just too woody for me. Let's see how this one does. Oh my, yeah. It's bring the vanilla, but also a little bit of peat, fruit, and some cake icing that I'm enjoying. As a Claren fan, I have to enjoy cake icing, especially when it comes up in like a weird savory context. And here we go. It's like toasty cake icing with some apple, perry, peaty stuff. It got more grainy with water too. Wow. These are legitimately pretty well, not just well presented, but like well made. I think I liked it better without water. I didn't drown it either. It loses a little bit of mouth presence with the addition of water. Like, it doesn't have quite the length. The finish isn't holding on quite as long. It's still fine. Let me just try it and eat one more time. It's better neat. But is it better than the Inchmurrin? You know what? I think it is. It's got a lot of what I like about the Inchmurrin, but the touch of peat and a little bit more texture when it's neat kind of puts it above for me. But yeah, I'm gonna tack a minus onto this because it did not like the water very much. Still fabulous stuff. 86 minus for this. Loch Lomond 12, and I did not expect that to be handing out that score to this bottling. Quite impressive. Okay, Inchmoan 10. This was probably my least favorite of these first three. Kind of still smells the same. It's like a more sane but still kind of raw Balakin, kind of orangey, barnyardy peat, lightly grainy. Yeah, it's a lot of what it was. I mean, it's pretty raw stuff, but I don't think it's bad. I really don't think it's bad on the palate. Nope. That is UPS. Hold on. Oh, as I was saying, the Inchmoan 10. It's fine, but remember when I was talking before about how, for me, Loch Lomond has been kind of like either too aggressively woody, or just a little bit too raw. This one's kind of on the too raw end of things. It just needs, well, whatever they gave the 12 here. It's fine. It's a decent enough little peater with its own little character, but I can't. It's hard for me to imagine someone really legitimately falling in love with this. Yeah, it's just not there. I will. I'm stuck between. You know what? I'm just gonna call this an 83 plus because I'm kind of stuck between an 83 and an 84. So let's just call it a plus. 83 plus for the Inchmoan 10, which will probably lose this lineup, but we'll see. All right, Inchmoan 12. Really, that combination of like orange and a heavier oak really presents as sherry cask, but it isn't. It just isn't. It's nutty and it's layered and it's kind of chocolate orangey, but no. It's its own thing, and like on the nose, the peat is very much playing a supporting role. It's just adding a little bit of color. And I don't mind. Changes from where it was before? Not really. It smells about where it was. And I don't mind on the palate. Yeah. I mean, legit. This is legit. This is just a really good basic bottling. And it is. This is definitely something that if you have a hankering for the Benromex or the Springbanks or that kind of style, that kind of lightly peaty, nutty style with maybe some rocks creeping in, this could be your thing. How crazy do I want to get with this? I feel like it's Texture's a little bit better than it was before. Yeah, mouth presence in general is just a hair bit up. It hasn't really changed in character. It's just a balance of different kinds of stuff. I'll call this an 86 plus. And I think this is really a really impressive effort from a distillery that no one cared about, 5-10 years ago. Like this, this just wasn't. I mean, this wasn't a thing a while back, but here we are. Maybe they learned something from what they were doing over at Glen Scotia. I don't know. Anyways, back to the, what is this called? The Glengarry. Coffee is for closers, I guess. On the nose. Oh, yeah. We are in full-blown, like, grapey lemon bars territory with this. But still maintaining that really intense graininess. Not subtle at all. Absolutely a modern whiskey. Like this, no doubt about this. This is wood engineering at its finest, as they say. But it's certainly a pleasant nose on the palate. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Finish is better. Oh, yeah. It's still like a really obnoxious whiskey. But some people are into that. It's just a big old brick of stuff that gets thrown not into your mouth, through your mouth, and you just gotta take it. It reminds me of like half the stuff I try when I go to American whiskey festivals these days. Grainy, really peppery. There is some fruit in there. And then you got the barrel finish. Your grapey lemon bars. I'm okay. Obnoxious, but certainly, like, we're in good territory with this. This is right in the middle of this grouping. Is it beating the Loch Lomond? It might. I don't think it's beating the Inchmoan. I think it's hold on. It's got more power than Loch Lomond. It's got more aggression than the Loch Lomond. I don't know if the balance is there as much. Especially neat. I do think that this Glengarry is better than it was neat. But yeah, I think it's pretty close. So I'm going to call this an 85 plus. 85 plus, which is kind of like the same as the 86 minus that the Loch Lomond 12 is getting. And yeah, that is your lineup. These are all kind of okay. The least of these, which I still kind of like, I don't know, like is a strong word. I have an affection for this. Is the Inchmoan 10. It tastes like a very elemental but slightly more sane example of Balakin, if that gives you some idea. And it really just could have used a little bit better cask management, in my opinion. But still fun, 83 plus. But in my brain, I'm also like, who's going to buy this? Who wants this whiskey? Because if you want peat, you're not going to buy this because there's not enough peat. But if you want a nice, clean, edgy Southern Highlander, you're also not going to buy this because it's not really that either. So I don't know. Next up was the Inchmurrin. This is legitimately good too. Better, like, this was the first big surprise. And then kind of tied-ish with an 85 plus and an 86 minus is the Glengarry, the cask pick with the Sauternes, and the Loch Lomond 12. This 12, I mean, the cask pick, fine. If you can grab it for the price I got it at. But this, they've really stepped this up from the last time I tried this. This is legitimately like, you could have this as your, as your rack Scotch. Seriously, and that would be fine. You wouldn't need anything else. Really impressive, 86 minus. And your winner for the day, Inchmoan 12. Ben Romack / Springer adjacent, and that is all I need to say. 86 plus, and that is the video. I'm delighted by this, and I hope I see more amazing things from these crazy people. Thanks for watching, and cheers.